Most men are safe, they are quiet, they are easy to ignore. They gave up their edge a long time ago, traded it for comfort, for approval, for a peaceful life. They walk into a room and nothing shifts. They speak and no one listens. They raise their voice and people smile. But then there is the other kind. You have seen him. Maybe you have felt him. He does not need to raise his voice to command attention. He does not need to perform to be noticed. He walks into a room full of chaos and the chaos stops. Not because people respect him, because something ancient inside them recognizes him as a threat. Niccolo Machiavelli, the man who wrote the original handbook on power, did not write for the soft. He wrote for the dangerous. He understood that in a world full of predators, choosing to be harmless is not noble. It is a death sentence. If you are watching this, something is already shifting inside you. You are tired of being agreeable, tired of being used. Tired of following a script that was written for you before you were old enough to say no. You are waking up. You are becoming something different, something sharper, something colder. Let us be clear about one thing before we go deeper. When I say dangerous, I do not mean violent. Violence is the last weapon of a man who has already lost. I mean dangerous the way a deep ocean is dangerous, silent on the surface, crushing in its depths, powerful simply by existing. A dangerous man cannot be manipulated. He cannot be guilt-tripped. He cannot be pushed into submission. He knows exactly who he is. And that knowledge makes him the most powerful person in any room he enters. You are watching this because you are shedding your old self. You feel the old version of you dying, that people-pleasing, approval-seeking version, and it scares you. It should. Real transformation is painful. You might feel cold. You might feel distant. You might wonder if you are becoming someone cruel. You are not. You are simply waking up. Machiavelli called this virtue. Not virtue in the religious sense, not being polite or obedient. Virtue in the ancient sense, skill, strength. The ability to look the world in the eye, see exactly how brutal it can be, and move through it with precision. Today, we are going to walk through 7 signs that you are crossing that line, that you are becoming the kind of man Machiavelli wrote about, the kind of man people watch, the kind of man people quietly fear. But I am warning you now, this is not a self-help list. This is a mirror held up to your shadow. And at the very end, I will reveal sign number 0, the hidden cost of this transformation, the price that most men refuse to pay. Most will turn back. Will you? Let us find out. Sign number 1, the death of the nice guy. This is the most painful sign. It is the moment you stop needing people to like you. For most of your life, you were trained to be agreeable. We all were. Be polite, be helpful, make people comfortable, set yourself on fire to keep the room warm. And the world will reward you for it. But you looked around, you checked the results, and you realized the whole thing was a lie. The nice guy does not finish last because he is good. He finishes last because he is weak. His kindness is not a choice. It is a fear response. He agrees because he is terrified of conflict. He smiles because he is terrified of rejection. You are becoming dangerous because you have stopped confusing goodness with weakness. Machiavelli wrote that it is far safer to be feared than loved because love is fragile. Love depends on loyalty, and loyalty breaks the moment it becomes inconvenient, but fear holds. Fear is consistent. That sounds harsh, but look at your own life. How many times did you give everything to someone, only for them to disappear the moment they no longer needed you? How many times did your loyalty get met with silence? The shift begins when you stop chasing validation and start demanding respect. You are noticing it already. Your no has become heavier. Before, when someone asked you to do something you did not want to do, you made excuses. You softened it. You managed their feelings. Now you just say no. No explanation, no apology, no performance. You are learning that you do not owe anyone a reason for how you spend your time or your energy. This unsettles people. They will say you have changed. They will ask what is wrong with you. What they really mean is you used to be easy to use. Machiavelli called this strategic firmness. It does not mean you go out of your way to harm people. It means you are willing to make the hard, unpopular call when your mission demands it. The agreeable man avoids difficult conversations because they feel cruel. The dangerous man has them immediately because he values honesty more than comfort. You are cutting people loose, friends who drain you, family members who control you, habits that keep you small. You are doing it cleanly. No rage, no drama. You are simply closing the door. That is the sign of a man who values his mission more than the applause of the crowd. If you are feeling less guilty about letting people down, pay attention. You are not becoming a bad person. You are becoming free. You are realizing that you are the ruler of your own life, and a ruler cannot afford to be a doormat. Sign number 2, emotional 0 point. The second sign is that you have stopped reacting. Look at the average man. He is completely exposed. He is controlled by whatever happens around him. Someone cuts him off in traffic, he explodes. His boss sends a cold email, he panics all day. A woman rejects him, he falls apart. A frightening headline, he carries the weight of it for a week. He is a puppet. Anyone around him can reach in and pull a string. But you are feeling something new. A gap is opening. A pause between the event and your response. A silence where the reaction used to be. Machiavelli described this through the image of the fox and the lion. The lion is pure force, explosive, reactive, predictable, but the fox is different. The fox reads the situation. The fox sees the trap and walks around it. You are becoming the fox. You are developing what I call an emotional 0 point. The ability to stand inside chaos without becoming chaos. To be present in a screaming argument while your heartbeat stays slow. People see this and they think you do not care. They think you have gone numb. You have not gone numb. You have become disciplined. You have understood that your emotions are information, not commands. Feeling angry does not mean you must act angry. Feeling afraid does not mean you must act afraid. The dangerous man watches his inner state the way a pilot watches a dashboard. When a warning light comes on, he notes it. He understands it. But he does not yank the controls and crash the plane. This makes you nearly impossible to manipulate. Think about how manipulators operate. A toxic partner, a controlling boss, a narcissist in any form, they all work the same way. They poke you to make you jump. They insult you to make you defend yourself. They cry to make you apologize. Their entire power depends on your reaction. But what happens when they poke you and you just look at them? What happens when they insult you and you simply agree and move on? What happens when they try to guilt you and you remain completely still? Their power has nowhere to go. It dissolves. You have become a mirror. You reflect their behavior back without absorbing any of it. Machiavelli taught that fortune, the random, brutal chaos of the world, is like a flooding river. The weak man gets swept away and drowns. But the man of virtue builds walls against it. He redirects the flood. Your emotional control is that wall. You are speaking more slowly now. You are comfortable with silence. When a crisis hits, a financial loss, a relationship ending, a health scare, your first thought is no longer, why is this happening to me? Your first thought is, what is the next move? You have shifted from victim to strategist. That is the deepest freedom, to feel the fire and not burn. If you feel this calm clarity settling inside you, do not resist it. It is the armor you will need. Sign number 3, removing the pedestal. The third sign is a shift in how you see people. When we are young, we look up at everyone. Our fathers, our teachers, politicians, celebrities, the person we are in love with, we place them above us. We believe they have the answers. We believe they are special. We believe they exist on a different level from us. But as you become dangerous, something changes. The statues begin to crack. You look at your father now and you do not see a god. You see a man. Flawed, uncertain, figuring it out as he went. You look at the politician and you do not see a leader. You see someone chasing power for personal gain. You look at the billionaire and you do not see genius. You see luck, ruthlessness, or both. And you look at the person you used to obsess over and you do not see perfection. You see a human being. This is called desacralization, stripping the false holiness away from the world. Machiavelli was despised for doing this to politics. He looked at kings and religious leaders and said, "These are not divinely chosen rulers. They are just people with power, using it to stay in power." He saw the world as it actually was, not as people wished it to be. And he wrote, "Any man who tries to live entirely by noble ideals in a world that is often not noble at all will eventually be destroyed." You are realizing that no one is coming to save you. The mentors you admired, they are just people selling something. The institutions you trusted, they are systems built to protect themselves, not you. This feels depressing at first. It feels like the magic is leaving, like everything is becoming gray and cold. But it is not cynicism, it is maturity. When you take someone off the pedestal, you can finally see them clearly. You can negotiate with them. You can challenge them. You can move around them. You cannot compete with a god, but you can absolutely outmaneuver a person. You are becoming dangerous because authority no longer blinds you. When a boss raises his voice at you, you no longer feel like a punished child. You see his leverage. You see his insecurity. You see a person under pressure behaving poorly. This applies most powerfully to romantic relationships. The man who worships a woman cannot lead her. He cannot be real with her. He is too busy performing. But the man who sees her clearly, who respects her without placing her above himself, that man is different. That man is the first one she has met who is not performing for her approval, and that paradoxically is exactly what draws her in. You are walking through the world now with your eyes fully open. You see the incentives underneath the smiles. You see the fear underneath the confidence. You are no longer a spectator. You are a player. Sign number 4, weaponized silence. The fourth sign is the one other people notice first. You have stopped broadcasting everything. In this era, everyone is constantly announcing themselves, what they ate, what they think, how they feel, what they are planning to do next. They treat their inner world like a public performance. And because they reveal everything, they are completely exposed. Machiavelli understood that information is power, and giving away information freely is giving away power. He wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Very few experience what you truly are. You are becoming a closed book. You no longer announce your goals before you reach them. You no longer post your pain to get sympathy. You no longer share your wins to feel validated. You work quietly. You build quietly. You heal quietly. And this silence does something powerful to the people around you. It unsettles them. When you are quiet, people begin to project. They wonder what you are thinking. They wonder what you know. They begin second-guessing their own behavior around you. In a negotiation, in a conversation, in any dynamic, the person who speaks the least holds the most power. The person who talks is showing their cards. The person who listens is reading them. You are also keeping your past to yourself. You do not unload your trauma onto people to earn their sympathy. You know the world is not a therapy session. You know that on a battlefield, you do not show the enemy where you are wounded. You are becoming a mystery. People ask about you. They wonder what you are working on. They cannot read you. And then one day, without warning, you emerge. A new skill, a new body, a new business, a new version of yourself fully formed while others are still talking about what they plan to do someday. Silence is where greatness is built. Noise is where it dies. If you are becoming someone who guards your words like something valuable, you are on the right path. Sign number 5, the capacity for force. This is the sign that makes people most uncomfortable, but it must be said. Jordan Peterson said it clearly. A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a dangerous man who keeps that danger under control. You are beginning to feel something you used to hide, the capacity for aggression. For years, you suppressed it. You told yourself that being civilized meant having no edge. That gentleness meant having no power. But now you feel it rising. And instead of pushing it back down, you are looking at it directly. You are realizing something important. Without the ability to cause harm, peace is just submission. If you cannot bite, your calm is not strength, it is fear dressed up as politeness. This begins to show physically. You start training. You push iron. You learn to fight boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, not because you want to hurt anyone, but because you want to know that you could. And there is a profound shift that happens in a man when he truly knows that he is capable of ending a physical confrontation. He becomes calmer, he becomes quieter. He no longer needs to posture or perform toughness. The small dog barks because it is afraid. The large dog is simply still. You are becoming still. This is what Carl Jung called integrating the shadow. You are not destroying your dark side. You are pulling it into the light and putting it to work. Your anger becomes the fire behind your discipline. Your pride becomes the standard you hold your work to. Your selfishness becomes the boundary that protects your time. Machiavelli lived in a world of soldiers and war. He knew that a leader who could not fight would eventually be destroyed by one who could. He wrote, "There is no real comparison between the armed man and the unarmed man." In modern terms, this means becoming formidable. It means rejecting the idea that a man should be soft, accommodating, and endlessly agreeable. It means embracing your drive to compete, to protect, to build, to remove obstacles. You stop apologizing for your ambition. You stop apologizing for taking up space. You are not eliminating the dark side. You are training it. And a trained darkness is the most powerful tool you will ever have. Sign number 6, ruthless prioritization. The 6th sign is a new relationship with time. Most men are careless with their hours. They scroll endlessly. They argue about things that do not affect them. They pour emotional energy into sports results and celebrity news and conversations that lead nowhere. They leak energy from every direction. You are sealing the leaks. Machiavelli taught that an effective ruler cannot afford to scatter his attention. He must focus on what actually builds and protects his position. Everything else is waste. You are beginning to treat your life with that same economy. Before you spend time on something, you ask a simple question. Does this make me sharper, stronger, or better positioned? Or does it make me dull, distracted, and weaker? If the answer is the second one, you cut it. Without guilt, without debate. You stop reading the news because the news is designed to keep you anxious and powerless. You stop arguing in comment sections because you know it changes nothing. You stop spending time with people whose only goal is to kill a few hours. You start to seem boring to average people. They ask about a show. You have not watched it. They mention a celebrity drama. You know nothing about it. They think you are missing something. You know the truth. They are the ones missing their own lives, busy living inside someone else's. This level of focus creates a compounding effect that looks almost unfair from the outside. While others are distracted, you are drilling your skills. While they consume, you are building. The gap between you and them grows not because you are special, but because you are consistent. You are becoming precise. One priority, one direction, no wasted movement. People around you will feel it. They will call you obsessed. They will call you distant. They will say you take things too seriously. Let them say it. Obsession is simply the word that uncommitted people use to describe someone who is fully committed. Sign number 7, the acceptance of solitude, the final sign. The one that results from all the others. You are becoming comfortable alone. More than comfortable, you are beginning to need it. The dangerous man is a sovereign, and sovereignty is a solitary path. The higher you climb, the fewer people can follow you there. The air gets thinner. The crowd gets smaller. Most men are terrified of being alone. Leave them with silence for 10 minutes and they reach for their phone. They turn on noise. They need something to fill the space because the space forces them to hear their own thoughts, and those thoughts frighten them. But you are different now. You are learning to sit with the quiet. You are finding that your best thinking happens in solitude. Your clearest decisions come when no one else is in the room. Your energy recovers fastest when you are alone. You no longer need the group to feel certain. You can trust your own perception. You can rely on your own judgment. This is perhaps the most dangerous quality of all. Social pressure works through the threat of exile. Agree with us, or we will push you out. The dangerous man hears that threat and feels nothing. because he was already heading toward the door. When you no longer fear being alone, you become untouchable. You can say what is true because you do not fear losing people over it. You can take risks because you do not need anyone's approval to feel secure. You are building something inside yourself that is complete on its own. Others can enter your life and you will welcome them genuinely. But if they leave, you will not fall apart. You will simply return to your work. You are becoming your own source of gravity. You generate your own warmth. People can orbit you, benefit from you, be drawn to you, but you do not need them to keep burning. If you recognize these 7 signs in yourself, stop for a moment. Breathe. What you are going through is heavy. It is real. You are killing the version of yourself that needed to be liked. You are mastering your reactions. You are seeing the world without its comfortable illusions. You are moving in silence. You are channeling your darkness. You are focusing your energy. You are building comfort inside your own solitude. You are becoming the man Machiavelli wrote about, a man of virtue, a man who shapes his own fate. But remember what I said at the beginning. There is a sign number 0, the real price of this power, and here it is. You can never go back to sleep. Once you see the world this way, as a game of strategy, power, and human psychology, you cannot unsee it. The comfortable blindness is gone forever. You will always be watching. You will always be analyzing. You will always be slightly apart from the crowd, even when you are standing in the middle of it. That is the weight you carry. But it is a weight worth carrying, because the world does not need more people who float through life half asleep. It needs people who are awake enough to confront the chaos, grounded enough to bring order to it, strong enough to protect the people around them. You are not becoming a monster. You are becoming someone who watches over the ones who cannot watch over themselves. But knowing these signs is only the first step. Knowing that you are changing is one thing. Learning to direct that change, to use this psychology with real precision in real situations, that is something else entirely. If this opens something in you, understand that what I have shown here is only the surface. There is a deeper layer. The real laws of influence, persuasion, and power that most people will never be shown. That layer exists for those who are ready for it. Most are not. If you are still here, you might be one of them.